It's cold outside. Now, I don't like the cold weather, honestly, but I like the hot weather a little bit more. But more than not liking the cold weather outside, I don't like when it's cold inside. Now, I'm not talking about whether or not your mom or dad let you turn up the thermostat, because as a kid, we couldn't touch it. It was cold in the house. Mom was like, put on some more clothes, and we did. And guess what? Now that I'm the parent, I'm an adult, I kind of like to keep it chill in our house too, because that electric bill, that heat bill can add up. But I'm not talking about the heat that way. I'm talking about the relationships in the house, how it can be cold. You can be cold toward one another. I don't like when it's cold inside. Maybe you don't either. Maybe there's someone in your family you're not talking to. Maybe you had an argument last week, last month, last year, and you're still holding on to those things. And so things can be kind of frigid inside or cold. Well, I want to help you with 3 things I think you can do to help when it gets cold inside your home when it comes to relationship. I'm going to say the 3, then I'll break them down. Number 1, talk. That sounds simple, right? Number 2, commit. And number 3, forgive. So talk, commit, and forgive. Talk. Communication is so important. One of the key things, if not the most important thing with any relationship, is communication. Being able to communicate with one another and tell what's going on in your heart, how you really feel about things, in a way that's not attacking the other person, but a way that you can add to the conversation, to the meaning of your relationship by expressing your true feelings. And don't attack people, but just share what you saw happen. Share the facts of the situation. Share how they made you feel. And you can talk, you can communicate, but don't start off by accusing someone else of something else, because you don't know what they meant to do. You only know what they did. So start with the communication piece. Talk. You got to communicate with one another, no matter what the relationship is. It can be husband, wife. It can be daughter, mother, father, son, siblings, even in-laws. You got to communicate with each other in order so it won't be cold inside. Number 2. Commit. Commit to the relationship and commit to a solution. You got to commit to being willing to talk it out, either now or later. Sometimes in our relationship, issues may go along and my wife doesn't want to talk at the time, but we commit to talking about it later. Sometimes you don't want to push it off too long, because then you don't want to talk about it because you become comfortable, but yet it still remains. You try to sweep it under the rug, but it's so important to commit to the relationship and to talking about the issues, whether it's now or later. So first talk, second commit. The third one is forgive. You got to forgive each other. We all make mistakes. We all do bad things at times. And if you don't forgive one another, you won't be able to have a healthy relationship with them or other people. I'll put it this way. Forgive those who hurt you, or your hurt will never end. Forgive those who hurt you, or your hurt will never end. And you will take that hurt feelings into new relationships. Think about that. You have a disagreement with someone else in your family, and you never forgive them. You have this grudge toward them. Then when other people start liking them or talking about them, you have a grudge against them. And then you want to make this them against me mentality, and that's not the case. Learn how to forgive. I'm not saying, I don't believe forgiveness is saying what the person did was correct, but you gotta learn how to forgive. And we'll talk about that in a future video. So again, to keep from being cold inside your home, you gotta talk about things. You gotta commit to the relationship and coming up with a solution. And number 3, you have to learn to forgive. Otherwise, as cold as it is outside, it'll be much colder inside. For more videos like this, visit HelloMrBrown.com. See you later.